What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here, and we are talking DAKRA Prime in this build video. So let's get right into this. So we've got a couple of stances that are used in this weapon. One fits the polarity very well, one does not. Okay, but both can be used depending upon your play style. You've got, let's see, first one that we're going to be working with, we're actually working with Crimson Dervish, so I'm going to just throw that up on the screen. You can quickly see the combo setup that's here. There's a number of combos to work with. And then the other one is going to be the Iron Phoenix, which will actually negatively impact your points. They're easy to pull off, and they are fast attacking. But our big thing is we want to talk about the Crimson Dervish. And you can use both of these in this build. Even with them maxed out, you'll still have enough points to get through this build without having to use a Forma. Alright, let's try to pull off a couple of these here. Just quickly. Your basics. And add a couple extra in here. You can see it's not very fast, my DAKRA Prime. Not as fast as what it used to be in the old melee system. But we're going to fix that while we do this build, and you'll see how I fix it. Couple things to note here. Okay, so this is a V polarity stance mod that we're using. It's an attack mod, so there is some additional benefit to having the correct polarity. And the DAKRA Prime, if you don't know, is it's going to be the next highest or the second highest base damage longsword in the game, next to what is now the Dragon Nakana. And its normal attacks can hit multiple targets. Okay, this is one of the few multi-target weapons that are out there, and that's why I liked it so much before, and that's why I like it that much again. Still one of my favorite weapons. This does require Mastery Rank 6 to get and use. Or I shouldn't say get, but to use. So just keep that in mind. Now, in addition to the fact that the regular DAKRA Prime does hit multiple targets, that's what this Crimson Dervish comes in and is perfect for. It does specialize in long spinning attacks, and with that long spinning attack it hits adjacent enemies as well and deals multiple fast strikes against your foes. It does have a higher damage multiplier with the fact that it can hit adjacent enemies, and that's what makes this one so powerful. And I can live with a slight offset in speed from it as a result. Okay, so let's go basic stuff here. Impact is 6, Puncture is 6, Slash is 48, Spin Attack is 129, Leap Attack is 120, Wall Attack is 240, Attack Speed starts at a 1, Critical is 1.5 times 15%, Status was 10%, and Stamina is a 10. This is how you start this weapon off with, which is actually not too horrible at all. Where I'm at on this particular build is a 19.2 Impact, 34.6 Puncture, a 384 Slash, 288 Radiation, 1557 Spin Attack, 1451 Leap Attack, 2903 Wall Attack. You will see me try to knock those walls a few times to get some good hits in, running up and down the walls and shooting around. The attack speed is down to 0.8%. I left the critical at 1.5 times 15. Status went up just a tiny bit to 16. Stamina went up to 11.5. Yes. So, average, as you can see in here, when I'm doing some averages against the Ancients and the Healers, I'm averaging around 5,000 hit, 6,000 hit, somewhere in there. Obviously, you probably saw that other little video. I did manage a 95,000 hit. Critical. I have had a couple that have been 25,000 in this video as well. I've managed some 60,000s, so it is something that is not just a fluke. It will happen. You can make it happen if you're getting your multipliers up and running as well. Okay, so let's go through it. So basic setup now. We go pressure point, 120% additional melee damage. In addition to that, it's going to fit right into that V polarity slot. Okay. Next to it, we're going to go ahead and put in the Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge is going to give you another 90% additional damage on slash. Alright. And that's going to fit right in with the dash polarity slot, or the tactic polarity slot that's in this weapon. Okay. And then next to that, we're going to add in a Spoiled Strike mod. Now this is going to give me another plus 100% base damage, bringing me up to 310% already, even though I'm going to have a negative 20% attack speed. We can offset that. And then finally, for the basic damage, I'm actually going to use a Rendering Strike to get a additional plus 60% on the slash and plus 80% on the puncture. I'm not too worried about the puncture, but I wanted that extra slash damage. So basic slash damage is brought up by 370% increased, which is become with the 384. Ironically, this is the second build video I did for this weapon. I had done a different setup and ran it, and I wasn't happy with the video, so I came back in to do this video, and I made a couple of changes, and this is how I ended up with this build. So it was just kind of a ironic that I ended into this build. So anyway, so additional 370% on the base for everything, but we're talking the slash damage is where it's most important. Okay, so I'm also going to add in here a killing blow for my 120% channeling damage, and we know the channeling damage, when you channel it, can basically double, or I shouldn't say double, can basically give you a 50% increase off of your base damage in the hit. So you can take 370, you multiply that, so that's like another 185, another 200% plus the 370. And you're doing pretty good. You're almost at 600% base damage, or 600 base damage increase on there. Excuse me. So now comes the fun stuff, okay? In order to get back some of that attack speed, but still, instead of using a Fury mod, I don't really want to just use a Fury mod. I'm going to actually use Berserker on this card. Okay, so Berserker is going to give me a plus 30% speed bonus for 24 seconds on a critical hit. So that works out well for me. You could, if you don't have Berserker, go ahead and throw a max Fury mod, which gives you a plus 30% attack speed bonus at all times. But I prefer to have the Berserker because sometimes I don't mind going a little bit slower. You can get real dizzy. Anyway, but the Berserker is where I'm set up on this. It helps my attack speed for that few second increase, which is perfect for when you're in a heavy situation with multiple enemies on you. You get that critical hit, and now you're taking everything out. Okay. Next to it, I'm actually going to have... I'm sorry. The Voltiac Strike card. Okay, this is the dual stat, 60% electricity and 60% status chance card. If you don't have this mod, you can simply add the regular electrical mod for this, and that'll give you an additional 60% at a max as well, but it adds additional 2 points to the build, which you have room for, but that's just the way to do it. I mean, I figure why not use a double card? I'm going to get 60% extra anyway. Why not get that tiny bit of extra status chance in here? Alright, and then to get the other part of my radiation, I'm actually going to do the Molten Impact, which is going to give me another 90% extra fire damage. So this, with the electricity, gives you your radiation. Radiation, again, is similar to like Nyx's Chaos, where once they've been hit, they will actually target their own faction because they get confused. Okay. And so when we get to these larger ones, these larger ancients, and I start to get pounded with a few of them at one time, having that radiation is good. You'll see it once or twice in here if you're watching, where they turn around and they go for each other instead of me, and that helps me out. Now, I've also managed to, a couple times in here, get myself into some sticky situations, but with the help of the DAKRA Prime, I've actually managed to get myself back out of those sticky situations, even though I do die. I'll admit that I died a couple times because I got a little crazy with trying to kill everything. Sorry about that. So let me go over this again in case we went with a basic damage. Give me a 300% basic bonus damage, which includes the pressure point, jagged edge, spoiled strike, and rendering strike. Those are what I'm putting down for basic damage. Then we're adding killing blow for the channeling damage, that plus 50% channeling damage. I do not have an efficiency mod in here, so we're going to be taking the max 5 points for damage every time out of there. Energy, so you got to watch your energy on here. Now, for the most part, I am not using the channeling energy, except for when I get to, there we go, I got myself killed, until we get to these big guys, these ancients. Then I go ahead and using my channeling energy. Let me just clear this situation up here so I don't get in a bad way, which, guess what, I'm going to get myself in a bad way again. I can see it already.
Life support incoming.
And if you missed it, somewhere around 8 minutes and 15 seconds, give or take, is where I got that major attack hit. Wow. But you can see, once you get that critical, you know, you bring up your speed. And then when you don't have it, you don't have it. It's not really a big deal. It's not that much of a difference. Then we have Berserker for the attack speed bonus when I need it, when I'm heavy in the situation. And I've got electrical and fire for my radiation as well. And it's just enough radiation to settle in and make things good. So let me throw out my final build on the screen here for you. Hopefully you try it out and see what you think of it. There are a couple things you could do to make it better or change it around. You could add some critical. It won't really affect it much, but you could add some critical. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please do hit that like button. Comments below if you have any comments. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching. See you later.